You can spend hours mastering Portuguese on an app, land in the biggest cities, and still struggle to follow a basic conversation. Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo speak the same language on paper, but as soon as a carioca says, "Vamos pra praia," and a paulistano says, "Vamos pra praia," the auditory divide is obvious. While textbook Portuguese is understood in both places, it lacks the specific rhythm and vocabulary to make an interaction feel natural. It takes an expat about 2 weeks of recalibration to adjust to these shifts. Dropping beach casual Rio slang into a São Paulo boardroom or using stiff Paulistano efficiency at a Copacabana bar marks you as an outsider. To choose which dialect to prioritize, we have to look at your specific life goals, evaluating the phonetics, vocabulary, and social registers of both hubs. The choice between Carioca and Paulistano is a strategic decision about how you integrate and how quickly you lose the outsider label. Rio was the capital of Brazil until 1960 and the seat of the Portuguese royal court. It was built and sustained by a massive enslaved African population, and that layered history left deep marks on its culture. This heritage forged the baseline of Carioca speech. It has a musical, expressive rhythm. There is space between ideas, giving sentences room to breathe. São Paulo developed differently, evolving into Brazil's undisputed industrial and financial center throughout the 20th century. That growth was driven by enormous waves of international immigration, specifically from massive Italian and Japanese communities. The combination of a relentless business environment and those heavy immigrant influences pushed the local dialect toward a clipped efficiency and directness. Rio speaks with the relaxed, time-flexible cadence of a beach town, while São Paulo moves and talks with the urgency of a global financial hub. The result is a direct link between a city's development and the way people talk, one shaped by the open-ended energy of the coast, the other by the industrial drive of the interior. This comparison table shows the single most noticeable auditory difference between the two dialects, the strict regional rules for pronouncing the letter S. Paulistanos maintain a crisp, clean S sound before consonants and at the end of syllables. This closely mirrors standard textbook Portuguese. In Rio, that exact same letter mutates into a distinct SH sound in those same positions. So in São Paulo, you say vamos. In Rio, you say vamos. The rule applies mid-word as well. A party in São Paulo is a festa, while in Rio it's a festa. The divide extends to vowels. Carioca speech uses fuller, melodically open vowels, with intonations that naturally rise and fall. Paulistano speech aggressively reduces and swallows unstressed vowels to maintain its rapid, flat cadence. Mastering the standard clean S is easier for beginners, but adopting the Carioca SH is how you transition from sounding like a student to sounding like a local in Rio. Moving from pronunciation to vocabulary, we start to see how specific words reflect the cultural personality of each city. São Paulo relies on industrial vocabulary. Instead of the standard word for work, Paulistanos almost universally use tampo. They also have a uniquely Paulistano concept called a palera. It describes a brutal, grinding period of work, directly reflecting the hustle required to navigate the city's density. Rio's vocabulary prioritizes ease and improvisation. When a carioca says everything is suave, meaning cool or easy, it's a reflection of a beach culture that avoids unnecessary stress. A common compliment in Rio is calling someone sangue bom, or good blood. It's a localized way of saying a person is trustworthy and solid. Even casual greetings shift by geography. A Paulistano will default to mano to address a friend, while a carioca leans heavily on meu irmão or véi in their local neighborhoods. Deploying São Paulo's industrial slang in Rio can make you seem cold, while using Rio's hyper-casual beach slang in SP signals you might not be taking the local business culture seriously. These vocabulary differences reveal how each city navigates social hierarchy and professional boundaries. São Paulo is Brazil's most formal city. Its corporate culture demands polished phrasing, making você or senhor and senhora the default in professional and service settings. Rio has a highly flattened social hierarchy. When people from every economic background share the same strip of sand on the weekend, the language naturally relaxes. Carioca informality is highly fluid. People will actively mix você and tu in the exact same conversation just to establish immediate warmth. Paulistano formality acts as a tool for professional efficiency. Carioca informality acts as a way to dismantle social barriers. Your professional intent dictates your primary dialect. The corporate expat path points to Paulistano for professional polish and alignment with the financial core. But the lifestyle nomad path points to Carioca for deep social integration and connection with the beach lifestyle. The problem is that standard gamified language apps simply do not teach these critical, localized situational dialects. The Street Tongue app fixes this. It gives you access to city-specific AI scenarios, so you can practice Rio slang for a beach bar or nail your SP phrasing for a job interview long before you land. Check the link in the description to download Street Tongue on iOS or Android to start training your localized ear. Before you go, drop your strategy in the comments. Are you moving for the paleta hustle or to be suave by the beach? Are you team vamos or team vamos?